Hi everyone, I'm Linda Hartling. I think most of you know by now I work closely with Evelin Lindner, the founding president of Human Dignity and Humiliation Studies. And in this brief video, I get to introduce our special way of engaging in collaborative conversations, which we lovingly call the practice of engaging in Dignilogue, combining dignity plus dialogue. I want to start out by acknowledging one of our long-term Global Advisory Board members, Francisco Gomes de Matos, a peace linguist in Recife, Brazil, who gave us this wonderful term for describing how to engage in collaborative conversations, the term Dignilogue. So why did we head in the direction of dialogue or Dignilogues? Well, we wanted to move away from the top-down lecture presentation format. Yet we realize that debate, they sometimes change people's minds, but not very often. On the other hand, a dialogue can lead people to new possibilities, new paths together. So we wanted to focus on dialogue. Mike Miller, who's one of our Global Advisory Board members, who's been an inspiration for our conversations about dialogue, suggests that the aim of a dialogue is to build together rather than to block one another. We change others by changing ourselves in the course of dialogue. So many of the slides you'll see in this presentation are based on his conversations about dialogue. He suggests that there are some outlooks that encourage becoming a useful participant in a dialogue, starting with, it's useful to adopt this as the first impulse, to explore, to emphasize exploration rather than evaluation. Dignifying dialogue presumes that every idea, assertion, suggestion deserves a fair hearing. Exploration rather than evaluation. It's helpful to build on each other's ideas. Think in terms of co-creating rather than debating. You can ask yourself, what can I add to the dialogue that could lead to new paths or move the conversation forward? Apply an attitude of gratitude. Appreciate the differences that are brought into the conversation. This involves avoiding verdict thinking or jumping to conclusions. It also involves waging good conflict. Conversations will encounter conflict, but we can find ways to engage in conflict that encourage clarification, that help with understanding, and lead to new possibilities, that uphold the dignity of all involved. That's waging good conflict. Consider, how can I draw out the speaker or the discussion? Asking clarifying questions or adding useful information that builds the outlook under discussion. And consider how to add rather than subtract. Enjoy the challenge of adding to the discussion. Ask yourself, what can I say that will be helpful in the discussion? What will help move the conversation or the ideas forward? These are some helpful outlooks, but Mike also offers some useful questions for advancing our efforts to engage in dialogue. You can ask yourself, how can I keep deepening my understanding by listening and contributing to the discussion? And you can start out by asking yourself, how can I move the dialogue along so that we can all benefit from it and move to a new place? These are two possible questions to help get you started. We know from our work with the network that Dignilogue leads to new possibilities. And in the world today, the new global citizenship, as Mike Miller points out, is not about simply accepting others. It's about interacting with them in mutually benefiting and supportive ways. That's why we've headed in the direction of dialogue or Dignilogue. So here are a few ideas for you to consider as you engage or try out this idea of practicing Dignilogue, combining dignity and dialogue. I hope it leads you to many useful collaborative conversations.